Okay, lesson number 2. Last time we did these. If you can make a square, what we're basically, you can think of it this way. We're taking a square, which is flat, two-dimensional, and we're extending it into that third dimension by imagining that as I move, my eye moves this way, I'm going further into the picture. So that if I have two dots, if you can imagine that dot and that dot, this one's closer to me. I'll do it big so you can see what I'm talking about. So here's the front of this cube. So if I have a little person here on the top of the cube, and I got another person over here, see this person's further away, okay? This person doesn't have to walk all the way over there to see their friend. So if you can do that with a square, you could do it with another shape too, you know, for instance, a rectangle, which is really the same kind of thing. Again, the idea is that we see the front and then extending into space. I'm right-handed, so it's easiest for me to do it this way. And it's pretty easy to just create little variations on the same idea. Why not try something a little more complicated? What I like about this is that you're imagining that instead of drawing on a flat piece of paper, you're imagining that this is like actual potential space, and you could be kind of looking into it. So here's this form here, this kind of U shape. And you might say, well, how'd you know not to do this one? And that'd be because it'd be like inside the shape. And this is where your powers of imagination kind of come into play. Because this surface here, it's slightly hidden back here, you know? And the idea is that you can imagine there's a little bit of something that you just don't see there. I'll do something else a little more complicated. And again, here I wouldn't do this because I'd be going through the shape, and here as well. Here's something else I didn't mention. I consider this the front of the shape, so this would be the back, and they're parallel. So this is going straight across, this is going to go straight across. The front goes straight down, this goes straight down. And this is just going to go straight up until it disappears. And there it is. Look at that. I'll do one more thing, a little more complicated. And this is what I would consider like the first sort of project, is to make a form that's fairly complicated. You might look at some symbols or like maybe characters from another language or runes or something might be kind of neat. I'm just sort of making this up. I'm going to do an empty space there just to have a little more fun. And now I'm going to make this three-dimensional. And again, the idea is that, you know, going from this to this is really not all that hard. And I think if you can do this kind of thing, you're not going to have any trouble with this. You see, all of these lines that I'm doing are the same. They're exactly the same. The same length, the same angle. But what I'm doing now is projecting this using my mind, you know, my creativity, projecting it into the paper. Because in my mind, the paper is infinite, you know. I'll do one more thing, and actually I'll make a mistake intentionally. Let's say there was an opening down here. So see, I was saying earlier how all these are the same length. What if I made one that's much, much longer? It kind of throws things off a little bit, because, you know, if it's this thick here, why is it this thick over here, you know? I think being consistent is important. It just helps keep the illusion kind of going. When I'm shading, I mean, there's no rule here, but my shading, it's going to be on the same angle as this, you know? Whether it's like smooth, even pencil shading like this, or if it's a little more kind of sketchy, which I like this look. You can see the lines, you know? But I just think if you do that, I mean, it might be okay, but it doesn't have the same kind of finished look as this does. Being able to do a whole inside of form is kind of a different level of understanding too, I think, and if you can do that, you're really on the right track. And here it's like we're looking through the shape into the background. So I'll do some kind of a, let's say there's a, I don't know, this is like a piece of architecture or something like that. Let's just say there's some kind of, you know, landscape in the background, and there, look at that. So you're looking through here into the background. Maybe I'll add a little more to it too. So all this is freehand, but our first project here would be a kind of a made up sort of fantasy artwork here that has a front and then an edge that's done in perspective too. I'll do another demonstration in just a moment. Thank you.